So on this video that was clipped from James Charles' whole YouTube series, I forget what it was called. I don't really give a crap what it was called, but someone clipped his how to do a fake apology video, and I got a response from someone who was like, no, I responded to someone who was like, you only hate James because he's gay. You only hate him because he's gay. All this other garbage, yeah. It just baffles me. Whenever a minority does something wrong of any kind, it's automatically because we hate them because they're black. We hate them because they're gay. We hate them because they're a female. We hate them because they have toenails that are ripped off of each other. I don't know. Some dumb thing. We can never criticize gay people, black people, Hispanic people, females, anybody. We can never criticize them because the moment that we do, it is automatically because they are gay, they are a woman, they are a black person. Doesn't really matter. Even though there are plenty of LGBT people that hated James Charles before this all happened, and there are plenty of LGBT people that hate him after this all happened. This has nothing to do with James Charles' sexuality. This has nothing to do with James being gay. In fact, this whole thing, I think him being gay is the tamer part of the entire equation. I'm sorry. I think you could even ask a super conservative Christian parent, hey, this man groomed kids. And they would say, well, that's disgusting. And then you would say, well, he's a gay man. Even a hyper-conservative would be like, okay, him being gay is less worrisome than him grooming kids. Because as long as he's gay and he's doing gay things with another adult man, that does not even hold a candle to what he's doing with minors. This is just wrong. What James Charles is doing is clearly wrong. But you know what, guys? He's going to have his stands, and unfortunately, most of his stands are little kids. Young teenagers or little kids who do not understand why this is so important. This person also said, well, Hollywood has a lot of PEDOs in the world and nobody does anything about it and blah, 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 even though people talk about that stuff all the time. We do. Just look at channels like That Umbrella Guy. He covers that crap religiously. People do talk about it, it's just people refuse to listen. That's the big difference. So when James Charles is being talked about, that guy goes from, y'all hate him because he's gay, to, well, Hollywood has a bunch of people in there who are groomers. And when we debunk the fact that it's because he's gay we're mad at him, they change the subject. They just do that. It's like whenever somebody says to a person, oh, you're just a Trumpkin, you're a Trumplican, you're a Republican who supports Trump. If they ever say anything negative about what is being preached about the beer bug, I'm not trying to do this to get political. I'm using this as an example because I see this type of pattern is the same thing when people criticize the information being given about the beer bug. Whenever people say, well, you're a Trumplican, you just support Trump, all this other stuff, you'll see people say, well, no, I actually don't like Trump. I think he's an awful person. They have no response to that. When people say, no, I disagreed with Trump on most stuff, but I still think this whole thing is being blown way out of proportion, they have no answer for you. And so they'll try to flip the script because their original narrative of you got canceled. They could not find anything to talk about with you because you just completely blew their talking points out of the water. Listen, James Charles, doesn't matter if he's gay, doesn't matter if he's straight. If he was straight and he did this, what would you say? If James was straight and did this garbage, would you go, oh, you just hate him because he's straight? No, you wouldn't. You're trying to use his minority status, him being a member of the LGBT, as a scapegoat. Because so many people dislike the LGBT. But here's the funny thing, not everyone hates the LGBT. Even people who may not agree with homosexuality do not hate the LGBT. You have to be some special kind of horrible to legitimately hate the LGBT. So they use this because they know what he did was wrong. They know what he did was disgusting. And well, he apologized for it. There's literally a clip of him telling people how to do a fake apology. I'm sorry, but a 21-year-old adult male should know better. In fact, there was a comment that said he wished a 15-year-old happy birthday. He knew what he was doing. So if you wished a 15-year-old happy birthday, if their ages were clearly displayed in their bio, and if they looked their age, which each and every one of them looked the age that they said that they were, I'm sorry. Like, I understand some teens can look like they're adults. I get that. That happens a lot with genetics. But these kids legitimately looked their own ages. That's how they looked. There is no excuse for that. People do not dislike James Charles because he's gay. They dislike him because he's an awful human being. And a lot of people want to say, well, this justifies what Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star did to James. Not really. It's just Jeffree and Shane were crap people. It's just James is a crap person on a different level. You know? James and Shane both have, similar interests in younger people, if you know what I'm saying. And Jeffree's just a piece of crap in general. So in short, all I'm here to say is, stop using the tired, oh, you hate him because he's gay, or you hate him because he's black. Because I'm a minority. I want people to be able to criticize me without me using my race as you're just saying that because I'm a minority. No, it could be that they just find my opinion to be wrong. Could be that they just don't like me. There are a million other factors that could come into play besides my race. That's basically all this rant is about. We don't hate James because he's gay. We hate him because he's a child groomer. He's a liar. He's done the same thing over and over again. There's a pattern. He keeps saying it won't happen again, but it keeps on happening, man. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. If you liked this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. Comment down below telling me what you think. If you're a James Charles stan, tell me how awful of a person I am for criticizing a man who just said he's sorry for doing this. It pisses me off when people say they're sorry for doing this, because that doesn't take away from the damage that it caused the young men that had to experience this, the young individuals that had to go through this. Just because you say you're sorry doesn't change the fact that you harmed other people. Even if you're sincerely sorry, it does not change that fact, dude. So it doesn't matter. He could give a million apologies. Still does not change the fact that he hurt other people. He manipulated and damaged minors. But even then, he used the power dynamic that no influencer should use. And he used that to his advantage to groom